My name is Thaddeus Matula. I am the director of Into the Spotlight. Prior to that, I've directed 2 ESPN 30 for 30s, Pony Excess about the SMU football death penalty, and Brian and the Boz about the Oklahoma linebacker in the 1980s, the Boz. And this is definitely the hardest thing I have ever done. I think it's the hardest thing most of us on this have ever done, that we've done. And I have to say I'm more proud of this than I think anything else I've done. It was just a gift. It's a gift.
So what's the film about?
So it's the film is about a group of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and they put on an original musical every year. And so we followed them for the 8 months from prior to inception to them getting together, coming up with the ideas through the ideation, and then rehearsing it, and then putting the thing on. And the whole thing is that, like, these individuals, they come up with the ideas. It's sponsored by a church, Highland Park United Methodist Church, and these are people who are living their faith. And what I mean by that is, like, there's no prerequisite. They just sponsor this thing. So anybody of any faith or no faith or creed, whatever it is, are welcome to come and have a stage and a spotlight to be all their own. And what an amazing honor to be of service to that story.
Where did you learn about this story, and what made you decide to pick this up and take the mantle on this?
So I learned about this through my friend Ricky Townsend, who's the producer on this film. He had been following a couple of, and one of his best friends was an individual with Down syndrome, and he was following him and his wife in a documentary years and years ago that, like, started, but it needed more to it. And anyway, he was telling me about this years ago, and then when I moved back to Dallas, I just followed the universe coming back to Dallas, and then there came a point where Reverend Paul Rasmussen had the idea that there needs to be a series about this. It was, the first thought was a series, and they were like, we need to find a filmmaker that can do this. And so they started spreading the tendrils. They found some people within the church. They said, this is a great idea, but we don't do this, so who are they going to find? And Ricky was one of the people they reached out to find someone to do this, and I came in, and having done Pony Excess, it was easy for them. Most of the people in the room had seen that film and were able to say, okay, well, this guy knows what he's doing, and I told them it's a great idea, let's do it. Now the crazy thing is like this, everything we showed them over the year, most of it was objectively terrible, because it's really hard. We had so much to go through that, like, stopping down to make it something viewable for someone who's not used to watching something like this was really, really difficult. And what we would present them, I would say, like, I promise you, this is going to be good. I have a statement that I always love to say. It's a Michelangelo quote, and Michelangelo said, I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free. And that's really what we had to do with this. We had to go through all the way, and I mean, just keep carving. But we were turning in some ugly mishmashes for much of the time, and they were looking at each other like, did we hire the right people? And I'm like, I promise you did. And I would show it to my folks as well, and that was great, because, like, they were like, wow, what do we say to our son? Because it's really difficult to go through all of this footage and find the angel, and you just have to keep going.
You're a very accomplished documentary filmmaker. Talk to me about your workflow. You're dealing with a lot of footage, a lot of data. What is your workflow? What is that like for you?
Can I get a water? Thank you. The workflow is really, again, it's all about like I said, the finding the angel in the marble. I think that a lot of directors get into trouble because they're thinking about, they need to, the ideas need to come from them, otherwise they're not a good director. And, like, for me, a big thing is like letting go of the ego. It's not about me. It's about the story, and it's about what's already there, and digging in and just, again, clearing away the refuse so the world can see the beauty that's already there. And so what I really love to do is I love to get people who are better than me at their individual jobs and then trust them and say, hey, look, you know, I'm gonna come in with ideas, but I want you, who does this thing every single day, I want you to tell me what you think needs to happen here, and then, you know, then it's my job to choose what the best answer is. It didn't have to come from me. And so, like, you know, you get into this fraud complex type of thing when you're younger, and even when you're older in film, like thinking as the director, well, if it doesn't come from me, then I'm not doing my job. And that's not the case at all. Your job is to inspire and empower individuals around you to come in, because filmmaking is the ultimate team sport art. And again, it's just like, these people want to have ownership of the work they do. They want to feel passion and pride in it. And if you just blow the wind in and then and get out of the way, you know, just incredible things happen. Incredible things happen.
Lastly, you've had great successes here. You've had 2 sold-out screenings. Tell me a little bit about the conversations you've had with the audience after the film.
Well, you know, you mentioned 2 sold-out screenings. They've all been wondering whether the checks would clear that I paid them to show up. They will clear. No, the responses have been amazing. I mean, one person said to me, one person said to us, I finally understand documentaries now, and then finally a documentary I love. And people have been talking about the character development, and like, we had to work so hard at that. It's such an honor to hear that, and like, but for everyone, it's just this sort of blown away. And like, I think you know, the ultimate compliment has been the people who have talked to us and very carefully have been like, I did not see the disability. I just saw them like I was watching any other documentary. Like, and you know, they don't come apologetic. Like they're like, I don't know how to even say this, but like, that's exactly what we wanted. We didn't put the lower third of like, this is their disability on there. No, we weren't defining them as that. They are individuals. They're beautiful people with their own stories to tell, and we got to live in that, and that's what we have done for the audience.